welcome to Make Your Passion Pay. I'm Luann Beekler, creator of the Make Your Passion Pay Playbook, your host and guide on this exciting journey to building joyful and successful work environments. Known as the Little Spark, I've helped countless individuals and businesses ignite their potential through transformational coaching, creating thriving businesses and joyful workplaces. I have experienced the challenges of leaving toxic workplaces and building something better. I bring firsthand wisdom to help you align your work with your values. With insights drawn from working alongside world-renowned leaders and a deep passion for community and connection, I'm here to show you how to lead with joy and purpose. Let's dive into today's episode and start making your passion pay. Good morning and welcome to the Make Your Passion Pay podcast, where we talk about the 5 C's in the playbook to make your passions pay. Those would be clarity, connection, community, collaboration, creativity, and a commitment to yourself, to your team, to your business. So I have a very dear friend with me this morning, Dr. Darren Weissman. Darren is the founder of the LifeLine Technique, which he'll share with us about, a member of the Transformational Leadership Council, and as I said, my friend. Welcome, Dr. Darren. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Luann. I'm so grateful to be here with you.
Awesome. It's so good to see you, sir.
Yeah, big time. Big time.
So tell us how you got started in the LifeLine Technique and a little bit about your business experience.
Well, the Lifeline was born out of a lot of different aspects of my passion to help people in a natural way. I am a eclectic chiropractor, acupuncturist that has a passion for neurology, and I've just always been looking for ways to support the people that I serve. And on June 17th, 2002, I had a moment, truly a divine moment, where I saw all of the things that I had studied and invested my time and money and energy into learning about come together in a singular vision. It was at June 17th, 2002 at 8:30 at night.
Wow.
This flow chart came through my consciousness, and I wrote it out. And for the past 24 years, I've been serving people through one-on-one Lifeline sessions, coaching sessions, as well as I've been certifying people throughout the world. There's certified Lifeline practitioners in 24 countries that have mastered this technology and use it, whether it be coaches or doctors, therapists, people that are just really passionate about holistic health themselves. Anyone can learn it. The youngest person to learn it was 16. The eldest was in her 80s.
Wow.
And yeah, so it's very unique. When I first woke up to it, I thought, is this just going to be for professionals? And then I realized, no, our world needs to have an understanding that we can be aware that we are aware, and that when we are aware that we're aware, we can have access to the programs that run our mind and how we think and how we feel and how we make decisions, how we process information, our perception, and how to change those in a loving and compassionate, grateful, present way. So yeah, that's the essence. And my business, you want to know about my business?
Yeah.
I've got a amazing team. My right-hand person, Ellen, and then someone who helps me run the certified Lifeline practitioners named Aaron, and then my ex-wife, whose name is Sarit. We still work together, and she's amazing. And Eric and his team run the technology, and then I've got other certified Lifeline practitioners that come on in and donate time and energy based upon the different curriculum that we're doing. But it's a pretty tight team, and we do our best to just to keep it as simple as possible because life can get pretty complex. Um, to
So
say
how
the
many people on your payroll?
On my payroll, um, 4.
And I'm sure that developed over time.
Yeah.
You started out as a solopreneur.
You know what? I started out with bricks and mortar, Luann. I
Ah,
I ran big practices. I ran big
chiropractic
practices,
practices.
chiropractic, acupuncture, massage therapy, all kinds of things. And then I really built the ark before the flood. And so before COVID hit, I learned that I could do my work remotely. And since 2019, so prior to COVID really getting going, 2019, I took my family and I took my ex-wife and I, we took our 3 kids around the world on a journey. We took them out of school and we went and we traveled all over the world, all of Australia, New Zealand, Southeast Asia, and we stopped in Bali because of COVID. But I was working remotely, and I basically I work remotely now unless I'm doing a program in person. Like I'll be doing a program in France down, doing a barge to the south of France, or I'll be doing a program in Romania or in Costa Rica or Colorado. I'll do in-person programs, but I work with clients and students and clients remotely, which has really been amazing. It's allowed an incredible level of balance for my personal life. I did yoga this morning. I drove my son to school, and I can still have a balance where I do what I love and I love what I do at the same time.
Which is what I help people do.
Boom. It's what it's all about. What are we doing if we're not doing? It's like make a loving, not a living. Like, and if it's
Oh,
possible, it's possible for people to do that. But it create. I like what you said, clarity. You got to get clarity, and one of the biggest things to be clear about is what are you done doing? What are you not going to do anymore? And then once you're aware of that, that opens up a lot of room as far as then where you're going, and that's where the creativity comes in. That's where the heart starts to guide. That's when we get then we can start to use our data and really find what puts wind in our sail, so that we can really show up in our best self way and making a difference in the world. So that's my gig. I am the founder of the LifeLine Technique, and I love it. I love it. Huge impact. Huge impact. So
I'm stealing that language, making a loving
go for it.
instead of a living.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of my favorite quotes, you might be familiar with it. It's from Steve Farber. Do what you love in service to people who love what you do.
There you go. I did not know that, but I
I
love it. Yeah.
absolutely see that in you. So, do you and your team have core values in your organization?
Yeah, for sure. It's basically the essence of the Lifeline technique. And so the Lifeline technique's core values are presence, being present, conscious observation, really being aware that we're aware. That's a core value. Uh, Core value is discernment, like to rather than being judgmental, be discerning, come from the heart rather than the head. Core value is be intentional, and in the intentional aspect, focus where you're going versus what you want to make go away or avoid or pretend is not going on. And the fifth core value is imagination, like really just bring in the power of imagination. Imagination is evidence of the divine, and so we bring in the core value of imagination, and then the core value of taking action, making decisions. Because we know there's going to be reactions. Every action, there's a reaction. So those are our core values. That's the essence of the Lifeline technique, and we apply that to our business model.
Daily life, right?
Absolutely.
Daily life and business. So, uh, aware that we're aware is so powerful because a lot of people are going through life unconsciously, going through the motions of what the world throws at them and just dealing with that instead of making conscious decisions
Yeah,
of what they want to create in their life. Would you agree?
I agree. It's like being on like in a sailboat without a rudder. It's just like, the wind's just going to take you wherever. And, maybe it's divine. You get lucky, you end up in a place that you really want to be, and that's amazing. And there's a time and place to really let go and to trust life and allow life to bring you where, because life's in charge. Yet if if we're not aware that we're aware, then things just happen. But when we are aware that we're aware, then we can start to be aware that, wait a second, where did that thought come from? I'm not enough. Oh no, it's those people can do it, but I can. Where did this feeling come from? This feeling of this feeling of doubt, this feeling of regret, this feeling of uncertainty, this feeling of fear. Where did this feeling come from? That voice inside of my head that just keeps on chitter chattering when it's the loudest thing. It's like that's distracting me. That's causing me to question myself and my worth. Not being aware that we're aware ultimately causes a victim mentality. And
Life
so
is happening to me instead of for me,
right, right,
right?
for sure. So that essence of this, I mean, that the nature of what um I teach, but it's more of what I live, and I help people do their best to live this. I'm doing my best life. We do our best to suspend perfection and live a practice. You know, it's like no one gets a medal at the end of the life because you were like the best yoga person, or that you like whatever it might be. It's like just do your best, and in this, when we can get into the motherboard, the programs of our mind that have been imprinted since childhood and beyond, um, and we can access them, um, and we can transform them, we start to gain a clarity, going back to your C word, a
Yeah.
clarity that is authentic, a clarity that comes from within. There's something inside of everyone. The body is designed to heal. People by nature are loving, yet there are programs within all of us that cause our body to speak. Like my back is speaking to me this morning. I went to yoga and I listened to myself. I went slow, steady, and confident. But everybody's body speaks with different symptoms. Always, always. There's no one that doesn't have symptoms in their body right now. Everybody does at some level or another. And also, everyone is going through some level of stress. A little bit, a lot of it, it's constantly like an equalizer, changing based upon the different dynamics of life and situations of family. But when we start to become aware that we're aware, we can influence those, and we can shift our family, we can shift our personal life, we can shift our professional life. Like, how can I be working with my ex-wife? Why would I, like, we got divorced? Why would somebody do that? It's like, well, because we're aware that we're aware, and we're kind people. We're just not right to be with one another as far as a marriage. And so we live and we learn along the way, and people can make changes and transform things, um, if they're just aware.
You are the second couple that I know that are divorced and still work together. In
Cool.
fact, Janet Bray Atwood and Chris Atwood, the authors of The Passion Test, are
Cool.
in that very situation.
Yeah.
And so cool. So, but I want to go back to this aware, because I think what you said that I want to translate for my audience is it's aware of what monkey mind is going on in your head, right? Aware of those false beliefs that unconsciously keep spinning around, those doubts and self-worth issues and uh, so on, right?
Yeah.
And aware of how my body feels and what the messages are from the body
Yeah.
is an art to learn that skill set. And these are two things very much a part of your work and what you're trying to help people be aware of what's going on in their head and their body, and discernment comes in, right? And then taking action to do something about it,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
It's a
So
feedback system.
it's a feedback system. I love that so much.
It's not a failure. It's not a fight. Excuse my French. It's not a fuck up. It's a feedback system. So the body speaks the mind always. Everything in the body started in the mind, as well as everything in our life and our relationships started in our mind. And what makes it challenging, or let's say adventurous, is that most of our mind is in a blind spot. It's subconscious, it's below. So that subconscious mind, the significance of it is it's running it's running our biology. Like right now, like until like I brought you aware of this, you weren't thinking about how your bum feels on the chair that you're seated or your feet on the floor. You weren't aware that you were blinking. But now, okay, now I can blink. But if I chose not to blink, or I would still continue to blink. If I chose not to be in touch with my breath, I would still breathe. Now, all these different aspects of biology, digestion, nervous system, immunity, hormones, all these things are controlled by the subconscious, but the subconscious stores memories. And this is the thing, Luann. When memories are not processed fully, integrated, conscious and subconsciously aligned, when they're not, what ends up happening is the subconscious mind will store that memory. And that memory will become a holding pattern. It will become a loop. And that loop, when triggered, will cause, for example, the 4-year-old little boy that was in an environment where mom was raging and dad was raging, and there was alcoholism and there was money issues and all these things. And that 4-year-old never got processed because we didn't have the ability to accept or let go in that moment. We didn't have the ability to choose love that moment. And my environment couldn't support it. Subconscious mind protects it. And as soon as that protective moment goes on, that 4-year-old becomes the 4-year-old's the 5-year-old, the 4-year-old's a 6-year-old, the 4-year-old's a 7-year-old. The 4-year-old goes through junior high and high school and college. The 4-year-old is the person is in relationships and marriage and parenting and your job. And the 4-year-old becomes a lens of perception and a biological pattern. And until we're capable of bridging the gap between the conscious and subconscious, then that 4-year-old, because the subconscious is 7 times faster than the best conscious trained self. Until we bridge that gap, that pattern will stay in motion. It's energy. Energy stays in motion until it's met by another force. So it's the essence of that. So, like for example, you got a plant in your house, and you got it near a window, and that plant grows towards the light. It's just the design, like nature, the divine has order, and plants grow towards the light. That's the order. But at one point, because the plant is not aware that it's aware, if we want that plant to be full, we need to turn the plant. We need to turn the plant. That's like our like when our subconscious mind gets triggered, we're like a plant in a window. We can be like hanging outside and like I'm laying on my back, I'm getting the sun down, like I'm gonna flip on my tummy and get my backside. It's like when the 4-year-old, for example, gets triggered, I'm just moving towards that 4-year-old energy, whatever the triggers are, whatever the conditions are, whatever the colors are, the sounds, the smells, the taste of the 4-year-old environment, bring it to life again and again and again to wake us up. Now that affects us professionally. That affects us intimately in our relationship with ourselves, let alone with our family and our friends and anyone else. So it's a profound thing. I love helping people because especially like people that are like they've done therapy, they've done different kinds of aspects of energy work, and they're like, man, I really want to have a breakthrough. When we start to transform these core limiting beliefs is when the breakthroughs start to happen.
Those core limiting beliefs.
Yes.
And we all have them, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you say there are no problems, only portals. What does that mean?
Well, similar to what we've been talking about in the sense that what if what if that pain in the back or that allergy or that immune struggle? What if that anxiety or that anger or that frustration, what if that was, instead of a problem, what's wrong with you? What if it was a portal? What if that was actually an intelligent design that was a doorway? A portal is a doorway that leads you somewhere else. What if it was a doorway to the next greatest version of yourself? And in all reality, it is. Every problem, every pain, every fear, every stress is a portal. That doesn't mean that the pain isn't there because it's a portal. Pain is
Real.
part of life. It's real. It's real. Fear is real. Stress is real. Yet at the same time, check it out. Stress for one person, Luann, is like, oh no, the sky's falling, right? And for
Right.
another person, it's like, come on, bring it on. So stress is related to perception. How a person perceives a moment is either stress or growth. And what we know about perception is we don't perceive the truth in life. No human perceives the truth. We perceive what
Wow.
we perceive what we believe, and our beliefs are programmed. Specifically, if we're talking, if we're just talking just basic conception of 7 years of age, the cement's wet in our brain, in our nervous system, in our the cement's wet. So everything that's done, every sound, every smell, every taste, every feeling, what mom thinks, what mom feels, what mom does while she's carrying us in the womb, all of that create impressions that ultimately become core beliefs. Some of the core beliefs are the best. It makes us, our best self, and some core beliefs become limiting beliefs that become our doorway if we choose to. I like to call it a gift in strange wrapping paper, because no one likes the migraine headaches. No one likes the irritable bowel syndrome, the inflammatory bowel. Like, of course not. Nobody chooses it, but this is the reactive portal, not the problem. And here's the thing, and this is so important, especially in business. If there's something that you can do about something, do it. Do it. You can fix something, fix it. You see something wrong and you know what it is, then fix it. Oftentimes people are so aware of what the problem is, but the problem stays on. Like, I'm so aware of what's going on, but how do I change this? On a core level, there's things that people can do, but on a core level, when I am a 4-year-old little boy in a 57-year young man's life, and I'm being triggered, my mind's thinking like a 4-year-old. Even though I don't look like I'm 4, I think like I'm 4 when that part gets triggered. It's not
Yeah.
all the time. It goes in and out. It's like whack-a-mole. It's like whack-a-mole. It gets triggered, and now we're in that reactive state. And so having that access to transform this type of thinking or feeling or behavior is profound. It's profound. That's the portal.
We perceive what we believe. I picked
Boom.
boom. I'm going to hold on to that one.
Yeah.
We perceive what we believe. And if
That
we,
messes up our whole world, by the way. Our entire world is totally messed up because we don't recognize that. And now, because you got a different perception, ultimately a different belief, now we're separate. And the reality is that we're all one. We're all interconnected. And our understanding of our subconscious mind, most people aren't trained in the nature of the subconscious mind, the role that the subconscious mind plays in our health and our well-being, in our ability to stay present. Most people are not aware of that. So yeah, that perception driven by belief. I mean, the greatest thing about it, no problem, only portal, is that within every core limiting belief is a core of infinite potential. It's like a seed that has a hard outer shell, or like an egg that has a hard outer shell, right? This is to protect the developing chick. And as the developing chick grows inside, it gets bigger and bigger. At one point, it's going to start to crack its way out. And as it breaks, we're like, oh no, it's my world's falling apart. The developing chick is not asking for a bigger shell. It's asking to be born into a world to become a chicken. And so when we have our life falling apart, our business, our relationships, our health, how do we see it as a portal that allows us to evolve versus revolve, that allows us to thrive versus survive? How do we do that? And the first is the principle of a portal. You got to have an agreement with yourself. You got to actually make an agreement, and that's a leap for some people. That's a leap, and it's not. Other people are like, yeah, life's happening for me rather than to me, and they recognize that's a portal attitude. That's a portal perception. But as long as it's a problem, then it will be a fight. It'll be a fix. It'll be a failure, and then that loop will go on.
Right. And so observation of a problem that you do nothing about perpetuates the stress rather than saying, what am I learning in this? What is it opening up for me? Right? That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the law of attraction will go like, oh, don't think about that. Don't think about that because you're just going to attract that. But and that could be true if you stay in the focus of a problem. But if you're looking as a portal, then you go and when you observe the pain, fear, and stress of a portal, there's a couple things that you have to agree upon. One is you have to be like, I'm a student. Like I'm going to be curious. I'm going to bring curiosity and I'm going to bring compassion to my conscious observation that allows that portal to even be born. Then, Luann, what is really fun is to go into discernment, because what ends up happening, and we're all human, and so like it's humble pie is being served, every day, all year long. It's like, when we start to observe the symptoms of our body, or the stressors in our relationships, the struggles in business, we start to judge ourselves like, what's wrong with me? I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. If only I were more. So to dispel that's a myth. To dispel that myth that there's something wrong with me, that judgment, guilty as charged, we ask in the LifeLine technique something that I call the truth question. And the truth question is, who calls anything the truth question in our world? Between red and blue and this religion and that religion and female and male, who calls anything the truth? Because the only way something's the truth question is if everybody answers it the same way. So this question, I developed the LifeLine technique June 17, 2002. And this question has been asked millions of times since. And everyone answers this question the same way, which is mind-boggling. But it's also, once you hear it, like, duh. But here's the truth question. Check it out. Luann, as you tune into your body and you tune into the health symptoms that are going on, the health imbalances, the dis-ease that's going on in your body, as you tune into your life, the people that trigger you, the situations that cause you stress or struggle or angst or whatever it may be, here's the truth question. If you could choose to create your life, would you ever choose to create it where you got migraines, where you've got pain in your knees, your hips, your spine, digestive challenges? Would you choose anxiety, doubt, fear?
No.
No way. No way.
No way.
Of course not. But these things are going on for you and for me and for everyone listening. Everyone on the planet, if we ask the question one at a time to all 8.5 billion people on the planet, we'd find that everyone has symptoms and everyone has stressors. And so when we're conscious,
everyone, when asked if they would choose to have those things,
would say no. Yeah, would say no.
Yeah.
Some people who are really smarty pants will go, well, if it's going to help me to grow, I would choose it. And I'm like, and I appreciate that, because that's a great answer, but that's not the question. The question is, if you're blowing out birthday candles and you're making a wish for the upcoming year, do you wish for cancer? Do you wish for canker sores? Do you wish for anxiety? Do you wish for overwhelm? The answer is no. It's dumb. Of course not. But check this out. When I'm conscious and I've observed these things, when I'm conscious, I have a choice. Like I'm conscious right now that I'm thirsty. So because I know my water's here, I drink it and I'm not thirsty anymore. So when I'm conscious, I have a choice. When I'm conscious of something that, of course, I would never choose, but it's still going on, what's that? What isn't a conscious action, but still happening is a subconscious reaction. And that now we've got access. Now we've made access. So the reason we're saying this is we want to have a portal to the subconscious world because that was just the tip of the iceberg. The symptoms, just the tip of the iceberg. We know that's 2 to 10% of the iceberg, right? The other 90 to 98% is below the surface. The other 90 to 98% of us is below the surface. And it's actually much more than that. Our subconscious minds, some people say it's 2 to 10% is conscious. I would say that the subconscious mind runs 99.9999999% of it. I would say our consciousness is so minuscule,
Wow.
and we're so consciously aware of so much, but our subconscious mind is storing and running so much more. And so the relativeness of this is so when we're talking about business and making a living, making a loving, making a difference in the world, what role is your subconscious mind playing in sabotaging you and holding yourself back and keeping you in that voice that says you're not enough? What role is that playing? And what value would it be if you could bridge that gap and you could evolve that part of you that's been in a holding pattern, a monkey mind, a hamster wheel, this whole
Right.
zoo, Groundhog Day, all these animals inside of our minds. Yeah,
So true. So true.
yeah,
Conscious choice. And I teach that in the passion test, but you've just driven it more deeply for me, and I hope for my audience, right?
good,
It's
good.
conscious awareness of my choices that I make and how I choose to perceive a situation based on what I believe to be true.
And here's the thing. You could have a conscious choice like of what you believe to be true, right? Yet if there's a subconscious limiting belief below the surface, that will always override your conscious choice. The subconscious mind always overrides the conscious mind.
Interesting.
Always. Oh, it has to because it's survival. Like, I'm gonna keep my eye open. I'm gonna keep my eye open. If I go close enough to my eye or touch my eye, I'm gonna blink. Right? There's reflexes. The
Sure.
baby has suckling reflexes, the moral reflexes. There's primitive reflexes that are not only biological but behavioral.
Right.
Influences us as as we go throughout our entire lives in every aspect. So the subconscious will always override, and that's why when you find yourself at any level of pain, fear, or stress, that's your portal, and that's your sign. You have a portal, which is a good thing. It's a gift in strange wrapping paper that you can bridge that gap. And when you shift that, because the nature of a subconscious pattern, it will actually evolve itself, but that might be a year, 10 years,
Long
20 years,
time. Yeah.
or another lifetime.
Right.
Or another lifetime. It might take you out of this life and into another lifetime to evolve that consciousness in all reality of it. So it might take 25 generations to evolve a pattern. But when you've got access and there's a code to it, it allows you to bridge that gap. And Wayne Dyer said this: change the way you view things, the things that you view begin to change. So that's the whole aspect of perception from problem to portal.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You said a couple other C words that I want to cue in on: curiosity, right?
Yes.
And compassion. Uh, and my first reaction to curiosity and compassion was for my team members, and knowing that in their subconscious mind, they have things going on that are making them behave in the way they're behaving, right?
Big time.
But then as you talked more about it, it brought it home to me, and being curious when I'm feeling those feelings or pains, right? Being curious then opens up that portal. And also being compassionate towards yourself, right? That subconscious is running something that I need to dive deeper into to break up that blockage. Here's interesting: blockage and blind spot, same things, right? And I help my clients overcome those blind spots that they cannot see. And they are likely being run by blockages in their subconscious, those things they are challenged with,
Yeah.
which extends to your work. Fantastic.
Yeah, well, the subconscious is at the core of everything. So
Mhm.
it's everyone's work.
Yeah.
Whether we're aware of it or not, it's the design of this world here on planet Earth is we've got consciousness. And either we will wake up in our own lives or we won't. And that will be what it will be. And as individuals and families and communities, let alone the world that we are a part of, as we observe what's going on, it is a reflection of a massive portal that ultimately is a gift in strange wrapping paper that I truly believe is helping us on one level or another come together and connect on a much deeper level that is love. Love being expressed the best way it knows how right now. And there's real consequences when we're driven by reactivity. There's real consequences. And so it's humbling. It is. It is. It's an amazing opportunity to be human in the world right now.
Well, and I'm getting more curious about that, right? As AI begins to take on a own life of its own in our world, what I'm really seeing is that people want to be human, and they want to be human with each other,
Yeah.
right? And we can all help each other by being compassionate and curious instead of judgmental. I love that so much. Darren, how can my audience reach you? If they want to check out the Lifeline technique, how can they reach you?
Well, the website is thelifelineCenter.com, thelifelinecenter.com. And there you'll find all kinds of things. The coaching that I do with people. I do group work with people if you want to just like put your toe in and see what it's like and experience a full Lifeline session. It's about 90 minutes. I do it every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central. We've got like for $8 you can get 2 weeks for free. It's a no-brainer. It's fun and it's empowering. You will feel better every time you do a group Lifeline session. But people can do one-on-one sessions and people can actually get certified in Lifeline. Those of you that are coaches or want to have a deeper understanding or appreciation of how to make change in your own life, let alone the lives of the people that you serve and love, you can learn this technology, which is really a beautiful thing.
For many, it's a great tool for you as a business owner with those things that are stressing you out, causing you to struggle, right? If you're consciously aware that that's happening for you, it's so worth checking out what Dr. Darren is doing in his Tuesday night program. So I've had the pleasure of being on his Tuesday night calls. I've had the pleasure of working with him one on one. It is a tool for all of us to use, get to know the work that he's doing. And if you are a coach or serving others in a coaching or counseling capacity, it's another tool in your toolbox.
It will make every tool that you have work so much better. It just does.
I
It just
love
does.
that.
Yeah, it does. It just
You're
once you
talking
get the
me into
subconscious on board
certification,
with it.
Doctor. You're talking me into certification, Darren.
Yeah, you know what? I'm designing a new certification program that will be starting in January of 2027. We'll be launching it in June, July this year. But it's going to be profound. The certification program, we are setting people up for success and incredible community and learning life-changing skills of consciousness, of how, think about how one's nervous system loses its ability to regulate itself, and how important would it be in any situation if you were able to regulate your own nervous system quickly? What kind of value would that bring to your health, your well-being, you as a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, a husband, a wife, whatever it might be? So we'll be launching that. That'll be amazing. Be on the lookout for that. But yeah, Luann, thank you for this opportunity. This is a fun conversation this morning.
I always love having conversations with you, Dr. Darren. And
Uh,
now I got to share you with my audience.
you're the
So
best.
we'll make sure that a link to the Lifeline Center is in the show notes, and it's pretty easy to find. So if you want to jump on it right away, the lifelineCenter.com,
Yeah.
and check out Dr. Darren's experiences on Tuesday night as a starting point would be my recommendation. It's work we can all use. We all have those blockages, those blind spots, and
Portal.
it's a portal. Absolutely. Thanks for being here, Dr. Dan. Really appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you on Tuesday night.
Thank you, my friend. In love and gratitude.
Infinite love and gratitude. Now you got to come back and explain that, but we'll get back to that. Infinite love and gratitude, my friend and my audience. Have a great day. Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Make Your Passion Pay. If today's episode inspired you, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a rating, and share your thoughts in a review. Every listener makes a difference in spreading this mission of joy and purpose. Want to take the next step? Share this episode with your friends, colleagues, or anyone looking to build a thriving, values-driven workplace. Together, we can create communities where passion fuels success. Until next time, remember, when you lead with joy, you inspire greatness. Let's keep making your passion pay.